Hey guys, my name is Jonathan and welcome to the first video in the Sandbox Engine video series. We are super excited to start this series. Originally we planned on waiting until we were done with the Python video series, however a lot of users have been asking that we go ahead and start this, so here we are. In this series we're going to start by going over the basics of how the engine works, and then after we've gone through that we'll start to move into how to do specific things with it, how to add inputs, how to add a plot, things like that. So what is this engine? In its most basic sense, it's a basic Python GUI framework geared towards non-software engineers. We will assume you know Python, or at least the basics of Python. However, that's all you really need to know to use it. The way we design this engine, most things can be accomplished with a single line of code. GUIs that would normally take 500 lines can be accomplished in sometimes as little as 10 lines. The apps created in our engine can easily be added to the toolbar or shared with other Sandbox users. By design, anything you create with our engine is automatically themable and fits seamlessly with other Sandbox apps. So where's the catch? The catch is that the programs or the apps created with Sandbox are geared towards engineers, with a focus on calculations, plots, data, tables, things like that. It's not designed to make a video game in it. But with that being said, if our engine's lacking any features that you want to see, we have provided Tkinter and several other scientific libraries, but we will continue working on the engine to make it even more powerful for more users and for more tasks. So before you start on the series, make sure you have Sandbox downloaded and installed. If you aren't sure how to do that, we have a video in our Python video tutorial series showing how to do that. It's pretty easy. There's really not much you have to do, but just in case you want a little help, follow that video. So to start off with, let's look at what you get when you actually install Sandbox. So when you install Sandbox, you'll notice two new icons on your desktop. The first being Engineer Sandbox and the other being Sandbox IDE. Engineer Sandbox is the toolbar of Sandbox apps. When you install it, you can see the ones that we've created using our engine. And you'll also be able to add your own. And you can actually customize what's already there. We'll get into that into some of the later videos. The other thing is the Sandbox IDE, and that's what we use and what you would use to create new apps. So we'll get into that in some later videos, but for this video I wanted you to basically see the directory structure that Engineer Sandbox uses, and that will be there when you install it. You can find it under Documents, Raylock, and inside there you'll see these folders. So the apps directory is where you would create your apps, where you place the files for your apps. The config directory is a place where things like the last input values are put. I wouldn't mess with this. This is controlled by the Sandbox engine itself. The output directory is where it's a standard location for things like output reports or whatever your app may spit out if you need a standard place to put it. PyLibraries is some of the third-party libraries and some of our libraries, so I wouldn't mess with that either. The resources directory is for you to put any resources that your apps may use, whether it be pictures, things like that. It's a standard location that when you share your app with others, this is where you would place the resources your app uses. RL apps, that's Raylock apps. That's when we push out app packs of new apps, this is where we will be placing them, so I wouldn't mess with that too much. Actually, I wouldn't mess with that at all. The settings directory, the only one in here that really you should be modifying is the Python path, where you can add to the Python path. You can also add locations where additional apps may be if you for some reason don't want to store apps inside of the apps directory. And also the keywords. Here you could place additional keywords, maybe for libraries you've made that will be highlighted in the IDE. The themes, once again, I wouldn't directly mess with this. There is a theme editor that modifies this inside Engineer Sandbox. And like I said, same thing with the app registry. You could modify this by hand. However, we highly discourage that. We'd prefer that you use the Sandbox app registry editor. Utilities is another standard location where you can place any, basically any libraries or modules that you create. This is a standard location where you can put them. Then we have a few log files and your license file. So that's all we're going to go over in this video. In the next video, we'll go over a little bit more about what an app is and also how to actually add it to the Engineer Sandbox toolbar. But thanks for watching this video, and we hope you follow along. If you liked it, please leave us a like or comment, and we'll see you next time.